I think that Jim Jones figured out what he needed to do to manipulate each one of us into a position of being a believer. And I was a zealot. I mean, I bought it. I joined People's Temple in March of 1970. It was after I had really been pursuing some way of acting out social justice and making the world better. I need you every hour. Yes, we do. I need you in the power. Yes, we do. I need you. It just felt like home, because it was all ages and all races and all the people who were really just kind people. I want you to help us if you will. When I first met Jim, he was so casual. There was no presumption of, I am so important that you'll be happy to meet me. He was very intuitive. If you were sitting in a group of people, somehow he would figure out what it was you needed to hear. By 1975, we were looking for a refuge, a place where people could have a good life. So we started making a big investment in Jonestown. We were going to be a role model of a community that could actually have total integration and good health care, all the things that we wanted. It did feel like paradise to me. The thing that I realized on reflection is Jim was corrupted by power. And when he was in Guyana, he was really in absolute control. There was no radio, no BBC, no any way to bring in any kind of information. And so he used our love of Jonestown as a way to make us paranoid ourselves about what was going on outside. At the end of October, Jim asked me if I would move back into the Capitol to start buying supplies. He got contacted by Congressman Ryan, who said, you know, I want to come visit you in Jonestown. We've had some complaints. I want to clarify what's going on. And so what Jim would do to tighten his screws, he would indoctrinate us to think, okay, we have all these things going, and now people are threatening to take it away. He started talking in this fatalistic way, saying, we want it our way or nothing. What I found out is that as Jim was calling everybody into the pavilion on the afternoon of the 18th, at the same time he was having a truck full of armed guards go to the airstrip to kill Congressman Ryan.
It's too late. The congressman's dead, the congress today's dead, many of our traitors are dead, they're all laying out there dead.
And then he just said, I'm going to be taking care of you by having you die.
Please, for God's sakes, let's get on with it. We've lived as no other people have lived and loved. We've had as much of this world as you're going to get. Let's just be done with it. Let's be done with the agony of it.
And as he's talking to them, his secretaries and nurses moved over and gave the poison to the children. And so he just took control, saying, okay, you know, you came here for your children. They're already dead. So it's not like you can leave and it'll ever be the same. And then they passed out the poison to everyone and people drank it. It was not a mass suicide that people said, oh yeah, let's do it. It was mass murder. He completely demolished people's will to live by telling lies. I'm a perfect proof of it, because if I had been in Jonestown, you know, no question about it, I would have had the poison. But if he had said that I couldn't survive, I have survived.